Okay, so this is for the subject strategic business analysis, and the topic for this particular video is competitive positioning. So you have here an article from marketingmo.com. So what is competitive positioning? So it is what sets your product, service, or company apart from your competitors. It is the value you provide, and it is what differentiates you from all the others, from all the alternatives, and from your competitors, essentially. Okay. So competitive positioning is about defining how you differentiate your offering and create value for your market. Essentially, you need to provide something that only you can do, and the customers or your clientele, your market would only go to you or find you specifically for that particular product or service that you are providing. So it's about carving out a spot in the competitive landscape, putting your stake in the ground and winning mind share in the marketplace, being known for a certain something. Okay, so some examples of those who have competitive positions are, Apple, Facebook, although, Facebook has essentially acquired all their competitors in the previous years. Okay, so a good positioning strategy is influenced by the following factors. So we have the market profile, the size, competitors, and then the stage of growth. And then for the customer segments, we have groups of prospects with similar wants and needs. For competitive analysis, you have the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the landscape. So essentially, it's a SWOT analysis. And then you have your method for delivering value, how you deliver value to your market at the highest level. So this is pertaining to quality. Okay, you have to ensure that the customers are satisfied with your product or service. Okay. You can develop your competitive positioning and differentiate your brand using another ad for step-by-step guidance while designing your brand strategy. Okay. When your market clearly sees how your offering is different from that of your competition, it's easier to influence the market and win mind share. Okay. Without brand differentiation, it takes more time and budget to entice the market to engage with you. So essentially, it's building a reputation, an image that you can be trusted to provide quality products for that particular industry. Okay. As a result, many companies end up competing on price, providing, the lowest price or affordable prices. A tough position to sustain over the long term. Okay. So, only a few companies would be able to build a very good brand, and so the rest would compete on providing them at lower cost. Okay. One of the key elements that many small to mid-sized companies overlook is how they provide value at the highest level. Okay. Essentially, the reason why big companies are able to do that is that, they are producing more and they are being able to sell more. But small and mid-sized companies cannot actually do that because, higher cost. There are three essential methods for delivering value. First is operational excellence, and then you have your product leadership, and then customer intimacy, right? We'll go over each one of them, and they did provide examples here. So for operational experience, here is an example. Our customers don't want bells and whistles. They just want a good product at the lowest price possible. So cost leadership is the strategy here. They focus on operational excellence so they can continually offer the lowest price in the market. For example, they just patented a new machine that dramatically lowers their manufacturing costs. They're not trying to create new or better products. They just want to produce more volume at a lower cost. Okay, their method for delivering value is operational excellence. So essentially, they're trying to make the operations more efficient so that they could lower their costs, and that translates to offering the products at lower prices as well. So it's a key driver of their long-term strategy, and their positioning reflects it. So cost leadership is essentially the position that they have in the market. Okay, second, we have product leadership. Orange Technologies customers care more about quality. They want the best product regardless of the price. So Orange is completely dedicated to innovation and quality. They're constantly working on product improvements and new ideas to bring to market. So they know what their competitors are doing and are completely focused on staying one step ahead in order to capture a greater share of their market. So they don't want to lose their market, and of course they also want to increase their market share. So they are really keeping an eye on their competition. Orange's brand and culture is all about product leadership. Their market recognizes it and is willing to pay for it. Okay, kumbaga worth the money naman. Okay, even if it's expensive, as long as the quality is very good, then people would be willing to spend that much money. Next is customer intimacy. Starboard's market is flooded with products at all points of the price spectrum. Okay, so you have the cheapest, and then you have the most expensive, and everything in between. Okay, yet Starboard's customers want more than a product off the shelf. They want customized solutions. So Starboard's strategy is to know as much as possible about their customers' businesses so they can deliver the correct solutions over time. Starboard knows that they can't just say we offer great service. Starboard delivers on their strategy in every interaction with their market. So in a way, customer intimacy, customization of their products that would suit the particular needs of their customers. Okay, so it's not just a general product, but it's customizable for their needs and wants. Okay, these companies have a complete understanding of how they deliver value to their market. It's a part of their strategy, which makes it easier for them to win a position in their respective market. So here's another way to think of it. You can provide the best offering, the cheapest offering, or the most comprehensive offering, but you can't provide all three, okay, unless you are offering different products, in which case you can use one of these on just each of them, right? Another key factor in your brand positioning is your competition. Sure, you need to put your stake in the ground and claim your turf, but is it turf that you can own, or is someone else doing the same, trying to claim it as their turf, right? Can you realistically beat your competition to own it? Okay, do you have the capability to do so? So rather than leaving your market positioning to chance, establish a strategy. So essentially, it's all about strategy. You need a plan to achieve your goal or objectives. What you're ultimately striving for is to be known for something, to own mind share of the market. This is typically easier for consumer product lines than for B2B companies because positioning a single product against 3 to 5 competitors is a simpler task than positioning a mid-sized B2B company with numerous offerings in numerous markets. Okay? Owning a strong position in the market is challenging for most small to mid-sized companies, but you have a better chance of achieving it if you clearly define a strategy and build your brand around it. So you see your company in any of these scenarios. So you have your best case, neutral case, and then worst case. Essentially, when you're thinking of a plan, you should think about the consequences, right? What's going to happen if you implement this? What are the possibilities? What are the best case, neutral case, and then the worst case? So best case, you provide a one-of-a-kind offering that your market needs and wants. You have strong differentiation from your competitors. Your market knows your name and associates it with that one thing that you are known for. And you continually deliver on it. Perception is reality. So, kumbaga, expectations are met. So you continue to win mind share in your market, defending your turf and influencing your market. So this is the best case that you want. Neutral case, your offering is somewhat different from and better than those of your competitors, and you communicate that difference, though probably not as consistently as you should. See, so the execution here, the problem here is execution. You're not properly introducing your product to your market, communicating that to your market, right? Some of your market knows your name, but they describe you in different ways. You're not yet known for that one thing, okay? You're known for many things like jack of all trades, master of none. But at least you're occasionally recognized. You know that you can make a greater impact on your market with stronger positioning. So you're in a position to make this better, okay? You can make this better. Worst case, your market sees little difference between you and your competitors. Essentially, your name is not recognized, so your customers could simply just, jump ship, buy from other stores, other business. Because of this, you have to spend precious budget and time educating the market at each touch point, okay? So very costly with regards to marketing. You often end up competing solely on price. Again, competing on price is it's going to be good, but you would have a lot of competition as well, and it's not going to survive for the long term. Though your business isn't optimized to continue profitably with falling prices. Okay, eventually, your price is going to be constrained by your cost. You have to fight long and hard for every sale. It's very difficult to meet your revenue and profit goals. Okay. The concept of positioning is entirely strategic. It's the first element to address in strategic marketing, and everything else is aligned to it. Jack Trout and Al Ries defined the concept years ago in their landmark book, Positioning the Battle of for Your Mind. While the concept is simple, to be known for a single thing in the mind of the customer, the road to achieve it can be complex. It's best to have a clear understanding of your market, demographics, segments, their pains, their worries, their needs, how well you and your competitors provide solutions, how you truly provide value, and your strengths and weaknesses before making this decision. So you have to be able to deliver. Okay, a fully informed decision is vital because you allocate a significant amount of resources in your journey to achieve it. It's going to take up resources. Competitive positioning key concepts and steps. So before you begin, your competitive positioning strategy is the foundation of your entire business. It's the first thing you should pin down if you're launching a new company or product. It's also important when you're expanding or looking for a new edge or competitive advantage. Profile your market. So document the size of your market. How many customers do you have? How much is your share of the total market for that particular product or industry? And then identify your major competitors and how they're positioned. Determine whether your market is in the introductory, growth, mature, or declining stage of its life. This life cycle stage affects your entire marketing strategy. In the previous video about the product life cycle, we've discussed this. Depending on the life cycle of the product, you would have to adjust your budgeting as well as and your marketing strategy, how you're going to position it in the market. Segment your market. Understand the problems that your market faces. Talk with prospects and customers, or conduct mass market research if you have time, budget, and opportunities. Again, you're going to need these resources if you're going to do this. Time, budget, and opportunity. Uncover their true wants and needs. You'll learn a great deal about what you can deliver to solve their problems and beat your competitors. So, research. Group your prospects into segments or personas that have similar problems and can use your offering in similar ways. By grouping prospects into segments or personas, you can efficiently market to each group. Okay? Define how you deliver value. At the highest level, there are 3 core types of value that a company can deliver. So, operational efficiency, lowest price; product leadership, best product quality; and then customer intimacy, best solution or service customized to the particular needs and wants of that customer. Determine which one you're best equipped to deliver. Your decision is your method for delivering value. And then evaluate your competition. List your competitors, include any that can solve your customers' problems. Even if the competitor's solutions are much different from yours, they're still your competition. Rate yourself and your direct competitors based on operational efficiency, product leadership, and customer intimacy. It's easy to think that you're the best, so be as impartial as you can be. Don't be biased, okay? Take a position. Identify areas where your competition is vulnerable. Where is their weakness? What is their weakness? Determine whether you can focus on those vulnerable areas, their major opportunities. If there are their weaknesses, do something so that you can deliver those particular needs and wants. Make a decision on how to position your offering or company. Okay. Select the mindshare you want to own and record your strategy. Review the components of your market and evaluate what you want to be known for in the future. Condense all your research and analysis into the one thing that you want to be known for and design your long-term strategy around it, okay, to achieve it. Okay, so essentially you have to keep in mind again your goals and objectives that you want to achieve, and then cater or tailor your strategy towards the achievement of that. Okay, after competitive positioning, once you have a competitive positioning strategy, develop a brand strategy to help you communicate your positioning and solidify your value every time you touch your market. Together, these two strategies are the essential building blocks for your business. Okay, so you have your positioning and then you have your brand strategy. Essentially, they go hand in hand. They are very related to each other. All right. Okay, so that's it for this one. We discussed competitive positioning, how you want to be known for something that all the others, all your competitors cannot provide. You yourself alone can provide it for your customers or the marketplace. All right. So that's it for this one. Thanks and bye.